All right, well, we're going to try and get organized here, which means we're going to do some work underneath and then place the final routine up top. When we're expanding the binomial expansion, the binomial x plus 4 to the fifth power, we're just going to start with the fifth row of Pascal's triangle, which means initial coefficients are going to be 1, 5, 10, 10, and then 5, and then 1. Okay, so that's leaving us with, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can get the big picture there. Those are the initial coefficients, but they're going to be different coefficients because we're going to start here with an x to the, and I know I don't need a parentheses around it, but it's an x to the fifth power. Now, there's no surprise here. That's the simplified, That's the simplified version right there. It's done. Okay, the end ones are pretty easy to do, but you'll notice that some things start to change. For example, x to the fourth. As this one's counting down, all of a sudden we have introduced ourselves to a 4, and it's to the first power, and that'll grow. So for now, we've got a 5 times an x to the fourth power times a 4 to the first power, which is just 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And then we have our x to the fourth power. Now again, as we go, that's a 10. That's an x to the third, but then this is a 4 squared. Now that's something we got to deal with first. Okay, 4 squared is 16. Okay, so I can kind of keep track of that down here. I got a 16, I've still got my x to the third, I've still got this 10. So I'm going to multiply the 10 and the 16 to get 160. And it's x cubed. So I've got an x to the fifth, x to the fourth, x cubed. I already know it's going to be an x squared, then an x, and then nothing. But it's something you got to kind of keep track of. This is x squared because x is going from 5 to the fourth to the third to the second power. But the 4 is now increasing. It's 4 now to the third power. And 4 to the third power happens to be 64. So that's a 64. It's a 64 times 10. So 640, but the x squared is still there for the ride too. So this, now we went 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. The 5 is decreasing. This is just x now to the first power. And I've got a 4 then raised to the fourth power. Now 4 to the fourth power happens to be 256. Okay, 256 times 5, 1280. So you get 256. You multiply that times 5. 5 times 250 is 25, or 1250. You do the 5 times the 6, an additional 30, so that's the 1280. And it's just an x because it's next to the first power. And the last thing, there's no x term anymore because it's x to the 0 officially. And then you've got this 4 to the fifth power. 4 to the fifth power, 1024. It's basically this 256 times 4. So you plus 1024, and that's, I guess, essentially it.